Welcome to Reviews That Scare with Jess and Blair. I'm Jess.
I'm Blair.
Blair, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing today?
I am doing very, very well. Can you smell it, Blair?
I can. I can smell it. What am I smelling?
That is spring in the air, my friend, and it smells nice.
It sure does, man. It sure does.
It smells nice. I don't have this in my script, but I did want to mention that Blair and I's hockey teams will be facing each other in the playoffs. So this will be the last podcast we do as friends. Going forward, all of the podcasts will be done as enemies, as sworn enemies. We will not speak to each other between episodes. We won't even look at each other.
Not until the series is over anyway.
That's right. It's time for blood. So best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you as well.
It is officially May, which means we have a brand new set of movies with a brand new theme to discuss this month, a month dedicated to the mama figures out there. And we have a great one to kick off this month.
Yes, we do.
But before we do that, what do you say we chat a little bit about some horror news?
This is horror news.
Blairski, you got any horror news this week?
I do. So, Jesse, whether we are wanting it or not, we're getting it, as two beloved characters from our childhood are set to face off in Mickey versus Winnie.
Yeah.
That's right. Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh will be facing off in a style similar to Freddy versus Jason. This movie is produced by It's produced by iHorror, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And is going to be directed by Glenn Douglas Packard, who is probably best known for the movie Pitchfork, which is one of the very first movies we ever reviewed on this channel.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. That's very cool.
That's pretty cool. Other than that, I don't have any more information on it. No release date or anything yet, but production has officially started on it.
Now, I couldn't remember. I saw the headline. I didn't read too much into it, but is Minnie Mouse also appearing in this movie?
Quite possibly, man.
It's possible.
I didn't see that, but who knows?
It could have been a fever dream I had as well. Who knows? What else you got?
The final thing I have this week for horror news is director Mike Flanagan, the man behind films such as Dr. Sleep, Gerald's Game, Oculus, Ouija Origin of Evil. He is currently in talks with Blumhouse to be the director for the next installment of the new Exorcist trilogy, replacing David Gordon Green. Nothing made official yet, but I think it will be good to have kind of a fresh set of eyes and a fresh take on that series.
Yeah, if nothing else, it'll be different. I mean, he is a big name, especially when it comes to Netflix. He's the guy who created The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Fall of the House of Usher. So he's done quite a few big projects as of late. Yeah. So if nothing else, it'll shake up things, which maybe this is what they need after the first one didn't do as well as Blumhouse and Universal had hoped for.
No, I didn't hate the first one, Exorcist Believer, but it was also nothing spectacular either. So
yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was, and I can't remember if we mentioned this in our bonus episode, but it was predictable. It felt like just another exorcism movie.
Yeah, 100%.
But hopefully he will officially sign on and we'll get something a little bit different.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I've got a few pieces of news here going off of more exorcism news.
Okay.
It was announced earlier this week that The Pope's Exorcist, the surprise hit that took in nearly $77 million at the box office and starred Russell Crowe, is officially coming back for a sequel.
Yeah, right on, man.
The first film, of course, based on real-life priest who apparently performed over 100,000 exorcisms for the Vatican. No news on when shooting might start, a release date, nothing like that. Even I didn't even see if Russell Crowe is going to be attached to this one.
I think he is.
I would assume he is. Originally, I had thought, or I had read somewhere that maybe it was even going to be a trilogy. But let's just start with a sequel and go from there.
Did you ever see the first one?
I haven't, no.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good, man. You should watch it sometime.
did you not see that one in theaters?
No, I watched it at
No.
home, then just the once, but it was quite enjoyable. I didn't definitely didn't hate it.
Gotcha. And then last piece of news, you'll like this. We've talked a ton about new movie release dates being pushed back, but we actually have news of a movie's release date coming a bit earlier than scheduled.
Whoa!
A movie Blair is dying to see, and a movie I feel pretty meh about. Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
The newest
yeah.
installment in the clown-based Gore Fest franchise with an original release date of October 25th will now be released October 11th. That's
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2024. I'm actually okay with the change. Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, come the Halloween season, I mean, fans like us, we celebrate Halloween year round.
Yeah, we do.
Other people, tend to celebrate Halloween for the month of October. So you might as well put that release date as close to the month as possible to make the most amount of money as possible in theaters when people are feeling a little bit festive.
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah, 2 extra weeks of Art the Clown and Company. So why
I can't wait.
the hell not? That is one, whether we like it or not, we will be seeing in theaters, most likely opening weekend for sure.
Just hopefully not 2.5 hours long.
Oh my God. Okay, that's all I have for horror news. What do you say we dive into this week's episode, which goes to 2018's Bird Box? Runtime on this one, 2 hours, 4 minutes. Blairski, initial thoughts on the runtime?
That is past my likingness for the length of a movie. It also did feel a little long, which isn't good, but I'm sure we'll talk about that later. All in all, a little bit long.
Yeah, maybe even, 20 minutes too long, kind of lulled. There was moments where we were saying, get on with it.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Before we do that, let's jump into one of our first segments, Fun Facts.
Fun facts. Facts that are fun.
Blairski, you got some fun facts for Bird Box?
I've got a few, nothing crazy. The film is actually based off a 2014 novel of the same name, written by Josh Mallerman. Spanish.
I believe the word you're looking for is spinach.
Well, because I'm about to say a Spanish spin-off, but it came out as Spinach. A Spanish spin-off sequel to this film was released in 2023 called Bird Box Barcelona, which I have not seen and didn't even know it existed until going to go watch this movie just the other day.
Yeah.
And finally, even though this film has mixed reviews from critics, it became Netflix's most watched film ever within the first 28 days of release, a title this movie held for 3 years until being taken over by 2021's Red Notice, which I've never even heard of.
Me neither. It's pretty unbelievable, but I mean, if you think about it, Netflix obviously took the world by storm by doing their original movies.
Yeah.
Or producing their own movies. And Bird Box was, I feel like, was kind of one of the ones to start off the craze.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's some big names in it too, man.
Oh yeah, and this movie took the world by storm. You were saying the first month, the first 4 weeks of release, Netflix revealed the film had been watched by 89 million households.
That's insane.
Unbelievable. I just watched it for the first time last night. I got to get with the now. I got to join the cool kids. Oh, goodness. I've got a few fun facts here. Sandra Bullock personally asked Sarah Paulson to play her sister in the movie. Sarah Paulson, of course, famous for American Horror Story.
Yeah, she is. She's great.
Apparently, Sandra Bullock's first horror movie since 1993 is The Vanishing. She does not like horror movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah, she was fine in this movie.
Yeah.
She was fine. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
This movie caused a string of viral challenges called the Bird Box Challenge, where people attempted to do tasks while blindfolded. This forced Netflix to issue a statement discouraging viewers from partaking after numerous cases of people bumping into objects, hurting themselves, and even driving cars into oncoming traffic while blindfolded.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the youth of today. Both Sandra Bullock and director Susan Bier originally passed on the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then finally, Trent Reznor, great film score composer and also the creative soul behind Nine Inch Nails, felt that doing this score was a waste of time because they mixed the music so low that he felt you couldn't hear it.
I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember.
I remember it from the end credits, and it sounded really cool and really Trent Reznor-esque. I
Mhm.
can't remember it from the rest of the movie, though.
No, not at all.
Yeah. That's all I have for fun facts. What do you say we chat about the fine folks who worked on Bird Box? This one directed by Suzanne Bier, also directed 2006's After the Wedding, 2002's Open Hearts, 2010's In a Better World, and 6 episodes of the 2016 TV series The Night Manager.
Yeah.
This one written by Eric Hieser, also wrote 2016's Arrival, great movie, 2011's The Thing, 2011's Final Destination 5, and one of Blair's favorite remakes, 2010's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, we don't talk about that movie.
Boo.
Boo.
Also, as you had mentioned, written by Josh Mallerman, also wrote 2 episodes of the TV show Creep Show.
Oh, right on.
2015's The Listing, and of course wrote the book that the movie is based on. Now, this has actually a relatively large cast.
Yes, it does.
You had mentioned a big cast. We're just going to mention a few of them. Of course, kicking it off with Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock as Mallory. Also starred in 2013's Gravity, 2009's The Blind Side, which she won an Academy Award for, 2004's Crash, 2000's Miss Congeniality, and 1994's Speed.
Great
Just
movie.
name a few. It is
Great
a fun movie.
Yeah.
Trevante Rhodes as Tom, also starred in 2018's The Predator, 8 episodes of the TV series Mike, 2021's The United States versus Billie Holiday, and as Black in 2016's Moonlight. Also starring John Malkovich. As Douglas. Also starred in Being John Malkovich, 2008's Burn After Reading, 1997's Con Air, 9 episodes of The New Pope, and in The Line of Fire, just to name a few. Him and Sandra Bullock, of course, massive, massive A-list celebrities.
Yeah.
Also starring Vivian Lyra Blair as Girl, starred in 2023's The Boogeyman,
Okay.
and in 6 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, where I believe she plays Princess Leia.
Really? A young Princess
Yeah.
Leia. Crazy.
Yeah. And then finally starring Julian Edwards as Boy, starred in Puppy Dog Pals, Tots, and Summer Camp Island. Blairski, big fan of Puppy Dog Pals?
Can't say I've ever heard of it.
Okay, well,
Sounds like something I'd watch, though.
Something to look into for sure. Oh, goodness. A synopsis for 2018's Bird Box, courtesy of our dear friends at I Am a DB. 5 years after an ominous unseen presence drives most of society to suicide, a mother and her 2 children make a desperate bid to reach safety. Yeah, it's a fine synopsis. It's
Yeah.
fine. It is neither great nor bad. It is fine.
It's okay.
Oh, goodness. This leads us to one of our favorite segments of the show, Kill Count.
Kill count. The time of the show we count the kills.
Blairski, do we have a kill count for Bird Box?
Well, obviously, in an end of the world type scenario, as this movie is, there's no way to get a legit, accurate kill count.
Yeah.
With the events going on in the movie, we can only really count what we actually see in the movie. So we're going with the kill count, Jesse, of 27.
Whoa.
That number is also confirmed on the Dead Meat Fandom, the List of Deaths Wiki, and IMDb. 27 kills.
Which, I mean, that is a large amount of kills. I think it is mentioned in the opening credits, kind of through news reports, that there's like 10,000 people dead. But those aren't numbers that we see.
That's the thing, right? They're not kills on screen or even talked about on screen, other than background noise, right? So
27 though. I mean,
it's a high number.
That is a competitor for a Eat Every Sandwich award come award season time.
It's up there. I feel like there's already been a movie or two that we've done this year that are kind of in that range. So we'll have to see once we go back and take a look at
I mean,
everything.
let's face it, it is no Piranha 3D or even
No,
1994's Mosquitoes,
no, it's not.
but it is up there.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. This leads us to one of our favorite segments, likes and dislikes. Likes, dislikes, likes, dislikes, and everything in between. The portion of the show where we chat about what we liked, what we didn't like, and everything in between. Blairski, did we want to start with kills?
Yeah, I mean the kills were good.
Yeah.
I really liked how in this movie it's monsters, right? But it's not monsters killing you or killing people. It's
Yeah.
people basically being forced to kill themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions in this movie, but it
Yeah.
is very much, it's not like, similar movies that came out around the same time, like A Quiet Place, where it's, physical creatures.
Mhm.
It's, I still don't really know what it is, but like you were saying, it causes people to harm themselves.
Apparently, it's like an unforeseen, I guess, entity, but I guess technically they are monsters. I did read something when doing the research that there was sketches drawn up for the monsters in this movie. The director did not like them and thought it was just a much scarier vibe and creepier atmosphere.
If you just
than-
had leaves blowing in the wind.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, I don't know. I always wanted to see
Okay.
it myself too, but I don't know. But
I think
the kills were good.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe the horror fan in us, where it's like we
Yeah.
want to see this cool monster, and
I
it
always
just
want to see the monster.
it doesn't happen. But the kills are interesting, unique. Like you said, it's kind of weird having a movie where these people are harming themselves
And
and
brutally
they're
harming themselves.
brutally. It's very graphic, and they tend to show everything in this movie right off the bat. And this movie starts with a bang. Within the first 5 minutes, bam, we're already into it.
Oh, I love that. I love the
And
intro for this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't waste any time. But right off the bat, it's we're right into the thick of it. We already know stuff. Things are not looking good, and there's people dying everywhere.
One of well, I guess two of the most brutal kills I can think of is at the very beginning. That one lady just nonchalantly walks into a burning car and just sits
down. Yeah.
Sits down in the driver's seat and just burns to death. And
Yeah.
another one, a lady takes a knife and just repeatedly stabs herself in the neck over and over and over again with the knife. Brutal kills. And yeah, as you said, it shows everything.
Very brutal. You have people walking in front of buses. It's quite graphic and quite alarming, shocking. It's everything you think it would be. It's no laughing matter, that's for sure.
No, that's for sure. You did say that this film is unlike A Quiet Place, where you can actually see the monsters in A Quiet Place, but it almost has the same premise as A Quiet Place, except replacing not being able to speak with not being able to see. It's still losing one of your kind of main senses, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, maybe I just didn't get it, but there was a lot of things I was confused with in this movie. I mean, what was the unseen creature? Why could some people go outside without being blindfolded and get away with it?
There's I think I have an answer for that.
And I thought he did maybe. And I just, what is your explanation behind it?
I have no explanation why we can't see them. But I'm thinking whatever it is these people are seeing is literally making them go mentally insane.
Right.
To the point of they need to die. They need to kill themselves. I am thinking that the people that this is not affecting, or at least affecting in a different way, are already people mentally insane. And all it's really doing is heightening that and making them just very vicious, brutal people. That's my guess on it.
And fair enough. There is kind of a brief explanation that, there are some escaped folks from a local mental institution.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Or it's, I thought for a while, maybe these are people who are already inclined to suicidal tendencies or something like that. I just honestly, I get the idea, and obviously I like the idea too, where it's, well, in that situation, we wouldn't know what the creatures were.
Mhm.
We couldn't understand why some people could go out without being blindfolded. But at the same time, I just felt like a lot of the answers not, or a lot of the questions not being answered, it felt a little bit like a cop out.
A little bit. I would agree with you. I would
It's
agree
just
with
like
you.
this is a movie. It's a real world, so it's like we
Yeah.
kind of want answers. And it's fine that we didn't get them, but I was just
Mm.
it left me with more
That's the
questions.
thing at the ending. At the ending of the movie, once it ended, I found myself instantly going to Google and trying to Google what exactly was after them, what was happening in the movie, and even the internet, where you could usually find the answer anywhere, had no answers. There's no answer.
Which is great. I mean, that is also, I mean, it's good and it's bad. Good, obviously, especially on the internet when nobody really knows, it leads to, open dialogue, open conversation.
Yeah.
But also it just, again, it maybe feels a bit lazy.
Yeah. Fair enough, man.
I don't know. I don't know. What else did you really, really like about this one?
Back to the kills again. They were very bloody, very gory, so I did love that. The acting was good for the most part. Obviously, the Sandra Bullock and John Malkovich
Yep.
were the standouts. I thought Girl in particular was very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, she actually had quite a surprising amount of dialogue for somebody
Yeah,
that
she
young.
did.
And she was great. I thought she was great. I thought Boy was as well. I felt like both of them did a lot of acting with their physicality. They both seemed genuinely terrified.
Do you know who was not good in this movie?
Who is not good?
MGK, also known as Machine Gun Kelly, who
Yeah.
is in the movie,
Yeah.
plays an absolutely pointless role. His
Yeah.
acting sucks. And then at one point, him and this girl just get up and leave. They steal a car and leave,
Yeah.
and we never hear.
Again, another
What
whole
happened to them?
situation where it's like, okay, that scene just kind of felt random.
Yeah,
It's like I don't care about these characters,
not
and
at
then
all.
and it's
And
just
then they
like
just leave. We don't even get to see these characters we don't care about kill themselves. They just leave, and we don't hear anything, man.
that was a giant who cares moment. Also, and I'm not the biggest Sandra Bullock fan.
Okay.
I thought she was fine in this movie.
Yeah,
I thought she was fine.
good.
I felt like any scenes that she had with the kids, the connection, the chemistry was really, really good.
Those to me were her best scenes as far as acting goes.
Oh, that opening scene, and then of course the ending scene. Both of them were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, really liked the way it jumped back and forth between present time and the past, and basically all came full circle at the end.
At the
I like
end.
that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
The last maybe 20 minutes to half an hour at the very end, it all comes together and then continues. But it is good, especially with the 2 hour movie. When you split it up like that, you don't find yourself kind of getting bored at this exact same set location the entire time,
Yeah. It's one of those things where the minute it starts feeling stale, then maybe boom, you go back in time and you switch it up. And the minute that starts getting stale, boom, it was kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the new Napoleon movie.
Not yet.
But
no.
I felt anytime that movie got stale is when they decided to throw in a battle scene.
Oh, really?
And it's like, we're maybe losing, the fans at this moment. Let's throw in,
Some action. Yeah.
Why not? So it was kind of nice, the minute we might be losing people, let's change the timeline a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked. I found it worked anyway. For the
I
most
thought
part.
it did as well. Anything you didn't really like about this one?
Well, I've already mentioned MGK.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the ending of this movie. I'm talking not the river ride, but once they get to the sanctuary,
with the CGI birds.
Yeah, with the CGI birds. I also did read, for the most part in this movie, they use real birds.
Yeah,
but there are certain instances where you could totally tell they use CGI ones.
Like the ending, the hard close up on the birds. Yeah,
man, I wasn't a fan of the ending. I found it very anticlimactic, man. It just okay, they're safe, everyone's happy. That's it.
And who knows, maybe they go a little bit deeper in Bird Box Barcelona, but
Maybe.
it
Yeah.
does just kind of end. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what now? But again, it's one of those things where it's like if you were in that situation, it would be like you'd be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
again,
would just be at that point, I'd just be happy I'm safe, right? So
absolutely. And maybe that's what it is. And I know the book is written in a first person view, and maybe that's, what the focus is we're
okay.
seeing everything through Sandra Bullock's eyes, and she's just happy they made it. Maybe feels like a little bit of a cop out, but
Once again.
yeah. I honestly, I don't think I understand what all the hype was about.
Okay.
I mean, the movie was watched in 89 million homes. I was talking to Carly earlier today, and I said, I think my final say on this movie was it was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was fine. It was fine.
What it is, Jesse, is it can happen to really freaking any movie. Look at Terrifier 2. I know you don't really like that, and it gained massive hype too. It's just certain movies, video games, what have you, will just pick up steam online somehow. And
I know, again,
what
it's
happened with this movie.
100%, and it is personal preference. So something that I really don't get into, somebody, connects with it somehow and becomes a real fan of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. That's why I love movies so much. You could have 1 million people watch the same movie and have 1 million different reactions to it.
Yep. 100%.
I think that's great. Anything else you liked, disliked, or anything in between?
Man, between you and me, I have covered everything written down about this movie.
Let's move along, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, this leads us to our next segment, which is lessons we learned from watching 2018's Bird Box.
Lessons we learned from watching. Insert title of movie here.
The portion of the show where we discuss the valuable life lessons we learned from watching said movie Blairski. Did you learn a single darn thing from Bird Box?
Yeah, I did. I've got 2 things. First off, in the event of an apocalyptic scenario, it is important to stay inside and do not let strangers into your house. Even if you're just trying to do the right thing, you never know what someone's motives might be in that given situation.
100%.
Second thing I learned, you actually already touched on this. So I'll just kind of skim through it. Finally, do not participate in online challenges. And then I go off saying how apparently after the release of this film, a social media challenge called the Bird Box Blindfold Challenge gained steam. And I have that little bit about the 17-year-old in Utah driving blindfolded in the wrong lane of traffic, and crashing her car. Luckily, she survived.
And luckily, everyone else survived as well.
Yeah.
Reckless, Blair.
Just don't be dumb, people. Don't be dumb.
Oh, goodness. I learned a few things here. Don't attempt to sail down rapids while blindfolded.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as driving the opposite lane of oncoming traffic. In an apocalypse, listen to your mother. Even if she didn't care enough to give you a proper name, she will keep you alive.
Yeah.
Although pretty original, you don't run into many people named Boy and Girl.
I kind of liked it.
This one, I believe, came from Tom, but surviving is not living. Life is more than just what it is. It's what could be. Surviving is not living. And then finally, according to John Malkovich, there are only 2 types of people in the world: assholes and the dead. There you have it. There you have it.
Oh my God.
Yep. This leads us to our next segment. Some might say it's our favorite.
Some might, yeah.
Not us, though.
Nope.
Line of the night.
Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night.
The segment of the show where we discuss our favorite lines from the movie. They might give us chills, They might give us the giggles. All we know is that they are our favorites, Blairski.
Yes, sir.
What do you got for line of the night?
Well, I had three, but I'm going to go with one because you just used two of my lines as
I'm
your
so
lessons
sorry.
you learned.
I'm
No,
so
that's
sorry.
fine. That's fine. So I'm going to go with you let a well, and I even just said this basically too, but this was said by Douglas. You let a stranger in the house. What are you, a simpleton? I got that as the line of the night. And then I also have in the end, there are only two types of people, the assholes and the dead, also said by Douglas.
Yeah.
And then that whole bit that Tom says about
Yeah.
surviving is not living.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got one here from Olympia. And this bit of dialogue is one of the major bits of foreshadowing in this movie. She says, if something happens to me, I want you to take care of my baby. If somebody ever says, if something happens to me, something is going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So you better prepare yourself to take care of a newborn baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Every
then
time, man.
finally, Mallory says this, I think at least twice. And they should have put this on the poster, but she says, if you look, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
Straightforward.
Yeah. I like that line.
Yeah. This leads us to our final segment of the show. Blairski, is this your favorite?
Top 5 for sure on this one.
Top 5, agreed. Celebrity lookalike time.
Celebrity lookalike time.
The time of the show where we take a look at the cast and discuss their celebrity. Rewind. Discuss their celebrity doppelgangers. Spoiler alert, it usually comes down to the character's hairstyle. Blairski, take it away. Get this mic away from me. What do you have for celebrity lookalike time?
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. All right. So anyways, me and my wife, all movie we are arguing about this, so I might be totally off. Or maybe she's totally off. But the character Charlie looked an awful lot like Jordan Peele to me.
Okay.
I know the actor who plays Charlie is in Get Out, which
Yep.
is a Jordan Peele film.
And
but
hilarious in Get Out.
he's
Really funny
hilarious.
character. Yeah.
But to me, they kind of share a resemblance. I don't know. It's something in the face.
Sure.
The character Gary kind of reminded me a bit of Michael McDonald, who plays Stewart on Mad TV.
Okay. Don't.
Yeah. And finally, the character Tom reminded me of a young Idris Elba.
Okay.
I think they share striking resemblances as well. I don't know if I said his name correctly, but
there you go. I've got a couple here. John Malkovich reminds me of comic book villain Lex Luthor. I thought Rosa Salazar, who played Lucy, reminds me of Aubrey Plaza.
Okay. Yeah.
And then finally, everyone in the cast, while blindfolded, looks like they're about to pin a tail on a donkey. That's what I have for celebrity time. This leads us to our final rating for 2018's Bird Box Blairski out of 5 beautifully scenic boat trips. Completely missed because of tedious blindfolds. What do you give Bird Box?
I'm going to give it 3 beautifully scenic boat trips, completely missed because of tedious blindfolds out of 5.
Nice. I'm going to shoot a little bit lower. 2.5 beautifully scenic boat trips, completely missed because of tedious blindfolds out of 5. It was fine. This film was fine.
But motherly presence was big.
100%. Whether she liked to or not, whether she wanted to be a mother or not, by the end of the movie, I think she was happy with the babies.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was definitely a good way to start our Mother Dearest month. That is for sure.
Absolutely. A mother. It is a whole journey for Sandra Bullock.
It really is. Yeah.
I'm excited for this month. You know, we got 3 more.
Yeah.
3 more movies, 3 more exciting, great movies. I'm excited for
one watch party.
One watch party. I'm very excited for that watch party. It's going to be a good one, as they always are.
Yeah.
But until then, this has been Reviews That Scare with Jess and Blair. I'm Jess.
I'm Blair. Remember to stay scary.
And eat every a sandwich.
But
Thank you for listening to Reviews That Scare. Make sure you check out our Linktree at linktree/reviewsatScare. That's linktr.ee/reviewsatScare, which has links to our Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, and many other things. If you'd like to email us, you can reach us at reviewsthatscare@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and remember to stay scary and eat every sandwich. A proud member of Pod Nation TV.